All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Overshot, a paintball podcast. Before I introduce you guys to the guest we have on this episode, I got to tell you about Die Zana Sports. They're makers of the SF joggers and the Grind Air gloves. They also do these new hockey jerseys that kind of came out. If you want to go check them out, they have a ton of new stuff they're filling up the website with. And anytime you go purchase anything from their website, use code Overshot when you check out. You'll save 10% off your whole order, not one item, everything you get. So definitely do that. And we have another sponsor for this episode, and that's Volcano. They make these awesome new backpacks that you see. So if you go to volcanousa.com and use code Overshot10 there, you'll get 10% off your order. I know the camo bags and the red gray backpacks are new, and I think the pre-orders are shipping out. But other colorways, definitely check them out. And now I would like to introduce Kyle. Welcome back to the show, man. Thank you guys for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate you having me back, man. Love the show. You guys been rocking and rolling since we last talked. I just love to see the growth. Love to see the content creation, man.
Yeah, man. We're 50 plus now, man. We're rocking and rolling, dude.
Loving it, man. Loving it.
All right, awesome. So our last episode, if you want to know more about Kyle's start, we won't revert you back to an earlier one. I mean, Kyle, you were episode 4, I think, man. So again, we really appreciate you coming on, helping us out in the early goings of this when we're still figuring it out. We really appreciate that. But the new listeners don't want to hear that. They want to hear about the Invitational, man. What an exciting event. I mean, I loved watching it. I still got to finish Sunday, but I've been watching it slowly every day after work a little. So if you can break that down for us, how that went for you. I know you were killing it at some points because definitely Rich was out there shouting your name. So tell us a little bit of how that went.
Yeah, it was awesome. Honestly, this was the third pro invitational. I didn't go to the first two. So the first two, I was overseas. I literally just flew back from Italy to come in and start practices for World Cup. So I practiced with New York guys and then came down to the invitational. And, man, they are doing an awesome job. Jeremy Salm, Harris Hussein, Frank Iannucci, they really are, to put on that event, they're doing a great job. The owner of NRG, his name escapes me at the moment, but their field structure was great. Their setup was awesome. We played on turf, beautiful new turf field. It was gorgeous. They had a second-story viewer where, like, Rich and the Ghost Sports guys were. You could stand up there and watch the games. And it's really good, man, just to get this level of competition together, right? We all have our own local fields. We all play at our certain areas. And, maybe you get 1 or 2 pro guys per field, and those guys will emulate their experience and their talent and teach down. But when we come into World Cup or come into national events like this, to have a practice like we did, I mean, we played 5 different top, pro teams, right? And they might not be 1 through 5, but they're still in the pro bracket. The competition we got there, we wouldn't be able to get on a normal practice. And the real thing that's valuable behind it in my eyes is you got full scrimmage practices. There's a huge conversation of how to do practices. I love Rusty Glaze's new breakdown on BKI. He does a great job psychologically breaking down the value between drills and situationals. But to actually run a scrimmage like that, where you're dealing with time, you're dealing with penalties, you're dealing with all the aspects of the actual game, it puts this level of comfortability within you when you go to play the layout the next time. And even if, we played, I think 1 overtime point, we played a few points where we were down and trying to go fast. Like, now that we've already been in those situations, when that happens at World Cup, we're just so much more prepared, even not just for the situation, but the emotion behind the situation. And we can attack it differently, be calm and be ready for it. And just have one little upper advantage compared to a team that didn't run scrimmages like that.
No, I think you're so right. I think it's so great that, because when you see a lot of the bigger teams, like, that's what they do. They go to scrimmage each other before these practices. And a lot of these, because I know a lot of these teams, the Northeast teams, that don't really get that opportunity. So I think it was so great just to get out there. Not to mention, now you have all these different teams. I'm sure all you guys are talking about what each other thinks of the field. And I'm sure a lot of learning could be done from scrimmages like these, from teams like you guys, like Outlaws, like NYX.
100%, man. Honestly, and I wish there was a little more talking, right, between the teams. There's definitely shit talking going on. Let's be right. So
yeah.
If you got NYX in the mix, someone's gonna be chirping, right? It's just it was so exciting, honestly, because it started off a little cold, a little quiet, but NYX, once they started getting a little chirpy, everyone took it a little bit more serious. So for a practice structure, maybe it wasn't that beneficial, because instead of trying to be knowledge based and talking to each other about, what we're doing on the field compared to what they're doing, and and how these situations are breaking out, we are, it was practice and everybody was trying to go out there to win every point. So it's a little bit different of a mindset. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I couldn't tell you. I think it both has its positives and negatives. We do have one more weekend this weekend coming up for the World Cup layout, where I think we have so much information from not just us playing, but thank you to Go Sports for being out there and taking the footage. It was awesome to be able to rewatch that and to really break that down for what those teams did. It's going to be crazy, though. I have this feeling that we played it in one perspective, right? Because the 5 or 6 teams that are there, they kind of learned from each other, and we all built this kind of like, this is the best way to play this layout. Right. And we might be wrong. We don't know.
Yeah.
When Dynasty comes out there and Heat comes out there and they start playing the layout, you're talking about one player on some of those teams has more knowledge and perspective than like LVL combined, right? Nothing against LVL, they're just the new pro team, right? Better off looking at a layout has 10,000 more situations and possibilities and things that he wants to do just in his mind compared to the whole LVL team. So what's going to happen at the World Cup? I can tell you one thing, it's going to be a crazy event because this layout is go, go, go. There's opportunities everywhere, man.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on this layout? Like, I have not played it yet. It looks wild.
It definitely is. So the snake side has large gappings, but you have the ability to kind of go up and over, up to the brick, and then dive across the snake, or play the deep route and go out to the corner. You can't shoot both shots at the same time. You know what I mean? It's such a defined difference between 2 shots that the opportunity to get out there is still going to come. Like, I made some late fills coming all the way from the D side out to the snake, because if they're not sitting there holding that gap, you're going to make it through. And once you get over there, it's deadly. The Dorito side plays more like a snake than the snake side does. Snake side's a lot more open, larger bunkers that you're playing with. You're not really trying to sneak around. You're kind of just taking the opportunity when it comes. Where D side, you can get crafty. We didn't experience many bounce shots, which, spending 2 years underneath Jason Edwards, I know for a fact there's a million bounce shots on that D side. We just didn't see them. We really didn't see them. So we'll figure those out this weekend. But without the bounce shots, dude, you're flying down that side. It's one guy maybe that can stop you, and one gun shouldn't stop any pro player. They can slow him down for a little bit, but you'll eventually make it through those small gaps. So the D side is going to be real fun. I think we're going to see a lot of excitement in the middle, and it's going to be a lot of filling the middle and then to get out wide, and filling the middle to get out wide. But no matter what, it's going to be close quarters, right? We're going to be coming at each other real close. I think the games are going to be exciting. They're going to be fun. I'm pumped for World Cup, man. Super pumped, honestly.
Yeah, no, the layout looks super dope. I can't wait to watch. And I agree with you. I think the middle might be kind of devastating, especially if you slack on. I mean, I think the video of Yeah is going to go viral if I'm running up through the Ironman and stitching up like 10 of them. It felt like
awesome video, honestly. But the run's possible. Like, we had a guy do that run later in the game. The guy got into the 50 snake. Our guy launched, shot the 50 snake dude, then shot the brick, and then shot, I think, 2 more guys. Jose just kind of walked through the middle. And, Jose is actually one of the new guys on the team, had an amazing point. But the move is always there, right? That move to the center, if it's not being watched, it's always there. And there's not many bunkers that can watch that middle path. That's the scary part.
Yeah, I think it's going to cause for like a lot of big plays. I don't know. I'm excited. You're right. I think it's going to be great. I'm kind of pumped now.
So, Kyle, going off that, your team basically a lot now is, you got some Florida guys, and then you've been kind of jet setting around the world a little bit and everything like that. So coming into this event and this, the invitational and everything like that, do you feel like that? I felt like looking, at all the teams coming into it, I thought it was a good thing for your team because you guys haven't had a lot of experience of playing together. And I honestly, even from day 1 to day 2, I felt like you guys definitely like stepped it up a notch. So definitely kind of like go into that. Do you think that this is something that's good, for you, the younger pro teams and stuff like that? So you guys, or teams that haven't been really playing together a lot, like the NRG guys have been playing together a lot, not in pro, but they've been playing as a team together a lot. Whereas something like your team hasn't necessarily been this team for that long of a time.
Yes, and on top of that, NRG didn't take a COVID break, right? So we came out there and saw NRG, and they were crisp, and they were playing the team, and they looked really good, honestly. The NRG camp looked really good. They're doing a great job out there, just being really on point for wanting to be professional and acting as professional. So I don't know how they're influencing their local field for growth, but as players playing the professional circuit, they're doing good. For a team like us, I mean, the ML Kings is definitely a little difficult coming into Cup. We don't have any of the Czech Republic players, so Paya Mars and Jacob won't be able to make it because of COVID. We couldn't get them a flight over here, unfortunately, so it's just the U.S. guys. We might have picked up one guy. I'm not quite sure. He wasn't at the Invitational, so I'm not going to say he's on the squad yet. So, but overall, our guys haven't had the chance to play against each other. We have some guys that are in D.C., some guys that are in southern Florida, some guys in northern Florida, some guys in Georgia. So this was super important. You know, for us, the first day coming back, they had a practice last weekend that I couldn't make. I was stuck up in New York. But this coming back was the first time we came together. And just that first day of practice was all about remembering each other's voices, getting the calls down, right? We haven't even used the same calls all year. I was playing in Denmark 2 months ago and I had some crazy calls, you know? So everyone had different calls. We had to figure that out. And then coming into Friday, you could see the Saturday, I should say, you could see the lack of trust. Right? You could see players that were switching off their jobs very quickly, that were checking off the side instead of talking to the teammate behind them, making a dive through a gap instead of asking their backs players for help, right? There was no trust between the team. And that comes from two reasons, right? Not playing with each other much, and one, and two, not knowing the layout and thinking we could do things that we couldn't, right? So, again, Go Sports, got to give a shout out to them. We had the opportunity to go back that night, Saturday night, watch every single game, talk about jobs, start breaking down the field in an intellectual way. I actually, Charlie, the owner coach, he was only there for the first match on Saturday, and then he had to go to be with his family. So I was player coach the whole time. I don't know how I got nominated, but they're like, oh, you're gonna run it. I was like, sweet, okay, as long as I don't piss anybody off, I'll do the best that I can. And after the first day was very hectic, like because it happened into the second match. So I'm like trying to call plays while trying to play every point and trying to help the pit, trying to find paint, right? We were like doing 1,000 different things. But after we had the time to structure lines, talk about jobs, and really focus in on who can switch off with who can help who, what bunkers can control what zones, and have time to think about it. We came out that second day, and you could see the difference against NYX. You know what I mean? When we played Energy, they were running on us. They were running all over the place. Level was running all over the place. Aftermath running all over the place. And then we play NYX, and they couldn't. We locked the field down a little bit better. We were more job oriented. So yeah, it helped out a lot. And again, this type of format, we shot like 60, 70 cases in 2 days, right? We played 7 matches, shot 60, 70 cases. A lot of paintball, right? It's a lot of paintball very quickly, right? And the first day we didn't have the opportunity to adapt just because we had 4 matches, and it was back-to-back match, break, back-to-back match. So it was intense, but with the footage, it made it so much more valuable. If we didn't have the footage, it'd be hard to say if I liked the format or not because it was so fast and we didn't have time to adjust and talk about it and try new things. But with the footage, it gave us so much more information for us to actually study, retain what happened, discuss the flaws, call out players, right? That just, say, hey, you had the opportunity here, you didn't go. Or we should have took this opportunity. We shot this guy. We didn't know it, and kind of own on ourselves as players and part of the team to just be better. So yeah, for us, it was, I think, exactly what we needed coming into Cup to bring the team together. Everyone's excited now. Everyone's pumped up, especially after that second day and beating NYX, which was like the funnest match ever, honestly.
That's like the one you want to win, right? If you're only going to win a couple, you want to make sure you win that one.
Yeah, for him, you personally.
Yeah, for me personally, 100%. Right, I was just practicing with those guys 2 weeks prior. They raised me. They're all my friends, 100%. But I honestly don't want to lose to anybody. But beating the NYX guys was a good thing for the team internally. I think for our development. And I just really love the fact that Harris was talking shit when he was up 2-1. Harris was like, Kyle, you need a hug? You need a hug, Kyle? And I'm just dead silent. I'm like, it's okay, whatever. I'm going to get it back. And then we went up, what, 4-3? And somebody on the sidelines, like, I don't even know who. They're like, Harris, you want that hug? Harris, you good? I'm like, perfect. Sidelines will talk shit for me. I love it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was good. The Aftermath game at the end solidified that we kind of got better, right? Because we played Aftermath the first day. It was totally different the second day. The Outlaws games, we lost both Outlaws games. They were playing good. They had heavy gunners. Fred Berkeley was playing awesome back there. But the progression is really what I care about, right? This isn't Cup. There's no, even though someone walked away with a trophy at the end, still practice like the trophy for Virginia. You know, hopefully this gets bigger. I would love to see this format itself get bigger, and the people that are running it get big enough where they're doing the things that NXL aren't, right? And bringing in some outside views, outside sponsors, engagement factors, and things of that nature. But currently, if it's just practice for Cup, I'm just happy that we're getting better.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Like, I know you brought this up a couple of times already, but the fact that you have tape to go back on, I think is like next level important. Like regardless of everything else, the fact that you guys could go back and literally, like you said, watch it, talk, and like, oh shit, man, I thought this, but clearly that wasn't what was happening. Like, maybe just talk a little bit more about how important you think that it's going to be to you guys playing World Cup and getting better at this layout.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's vitally important for all teams to do that. I've been talking about footage at practice for like 3 years now. I've been trying to get GoPros in corners and an overhead shot and things of that nature. Our game is different because we don't really understand each player's on the field's perspective as a whole, right? So a lot of times, even as a coach, you're trying to do it. You're talking to this player and this player and this player, and you're trying to put the five together. But when you put video to it, I always quote the Russians back in like 06, 07. I always remember Bart Bolonsky. He's in this, it's like a free agent video. It's an old Dirter video. I watch it all the time. I love it. He's rocking this old NYX cap, and they're like, yeah, everyone's stupid. They think we're videotaping them. We're not videotaping them. We're videotaping ourselves. I know if I do the right thing and my buddy does the right thing and he does the right thing, we're going to win the point, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everyone says there's millions of scenarios in paintball, which we have way more scenarios than most games. But at the end of the day, there are factors we can control. And if you hone in on the factors that we can control and make sure you perfect those and do that to the best of your ability, you're going to have the best chance to win. I can't affect what the Russians are going to do. I only can affect what we can do against the Russians. So why worry about that?
Dude, 100%.
And the footage thing, like if I can make any recommendations, the barrel cams I think are cool to watch. They're awesome. But make sure if you have a team, you're sharing it around, right? You want to see all visuals of the field. It'd be a great way to understand what each player is seeing. But as a coach, if you're not videotaping, I think you're messing up.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because like you said, you videotape it for you guys. You can get better, check your form, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera. So we've covered the invitational a bunch now, but we have a little note here that it seems like you've been doing a lot of work with local fields. That you were in Denmark and seems like helping them, videoing them. I tuned in a little bit and watched. So how was that whole thing like?
It was good, man. I mean, unfortunately this year's been crazy, right? With COVID and quarantine, and with that shutdown, unfortunately, I decided to leave and made the decision to leave before they made these invitationals, right? So I literally left the weekend of the first invitational. Flight was already booked and everything like that. Went to Denmark. Luckily, I met up with the Kim, the owner of the DPL. Great guy. Really is awesome. He's trying to grow the Danish league over there. And him and I spit ideas back and forth about paintball. I was drilling with his team every Friday night at a local indoor. I also played a Danish league over there. And just talking, they're trying just as hard as we are. And so I'm just sharing ideas of what I'm doing currently for my marketing agency. I'm working with Boston Paintball. I'm working with Markham Paintball. We just brought in Gator Paintball down here in Florida as well. And I'm doing advertisements for new customers. And I'm talking to these paintball fields about the progressions of the field, everything from their customer service of how they bring people in to how they initially engage with customers and bring to the front door, and how they leverage what paintball is on the competitive side to get more money from the customers that come in. I think that's really a missing piece that a lot of these fields are neglecting. It's kind of what I've been pushing and supporting all around to the fields I'm talking to is, as a competitive player, we are the ambassadors of our sport, right? Everyone, we're doing a podcast right now on paintball, right? We are so deep in it. We're doing a damn podcast. Well, there's kids that don't even know it's a competitive sport, right? We love it so much that we've dedicated all our lives to it. And if you really think about it, there's always this stigma of players, competitive players like us, being negative for local fields when that's, in my eyes, so asinine. They're talking about because we get discounts, or we ask for things like that. But the biggest difference is, yeah, I'm asking you for a discount because I'm basically asking you a discount on volume, right? Like any other business would do, right? I'm not coming to you and saying, I'll buy one case, right? I'm saying, I'm going to come every weekend. You know I'm going to come every weekend. I just want it for 35 instead of 50. And at the end of the year, if you look at the lifetime value of customers comparatively, I got to be $500,000 in the hole, right? I mean, I've spent every penny I've ever made on this damn sport. I love it. And the field's got to recognize that, because if instead of 1 out of every 100 person becoming a competitive player like us, if we had 1 out of 10 that stuck around and played all the time and was consistent with it, the whole sport would flourish. I mean, it really would blow up. So that's really what I did. I did that in not only in Denmark, but I also went to Bulgaria. And when I was in Bulgaria, I was in the capital, Sofia, and there's a team out of Sofia, and they let me play with them and do drills for a day, and that was awesome. The one guy there had been playing since 1998. Been playing forever.
Dang.
They had all these old pictures, old guns, and everything. Their form wasn't even bad. They were pretty good at paintball, but they were the last competitive team in the country of Bulgaria. And
So
they're like 6 of them. That was it. Yeah, and they said in 2012 they had a league in Bulgaria. They had multiple teams. It was growing, and it just faded away. And that comes with the recession, right? With the lack of money, which we don't have now. Let's make it very clear: we are not in a recession right now.
Yeah.
And then it comes from the fields not representing themselves correctly. Next step into that, I'm talking about the fact it's not a recession. These paintball fields are killing it right now. Are you guys killing it up there in the Northeast too?
Yep, same thing down there.
Oh, everywhere, man. I mean, from my boy Jamie Beadle in England, he's telling me his fields are doing great, to every field I talk to here in the U.S., because we can operate unlike bowling alleys and things of that nature.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We're killing it, man. This is the time for paintball. Like, I would love, instead of GI doing whatever they're doing, or any of these other companies messing around, coming together, getting a co-op advertising together, and putting a few national ads on Hulu and YouTube and things of that nature. And now's the time to grow the sport. I believe right now, if World Cup goes off big and we don't have like a big COVID blow up afterwards or something negative, right? And we can leverage World Cup correctly and make it so it's like a good event, it's public, everything's happy, and people are getting content. I think that, paintball could be on the cusp of doing something big. It's just, we have to grab it by the horns and run with it, in my mind.
No, 100%. You're so right.
Dude, I mean, I couldn't say better, and kind of just like reflecting what you're saying as because this has been my biggest pet peeve, and Travis can kind of do it, especially recently, as something, and you've worked at fields, is I feel like a lot of these fields are just stuck in like when they were selling 10-round tubes for whatever, $90 or $60 or anything like that. And even when I've spoken to fields, like I'm running a league now, I know how much paint costs or anything like that. Like you're saying about the volume, they don't understand. Like they see it as, oh, if I go from 50 to 35, I'm losing 15. No, dude, you're losing out on the $20,000 a year I spend on paintball. I can spend that somewhere else.
Yes.
And that's something that I don't. Some fields get it, but I think overall across the board, a lot of these field owners, and I hope eventually maybe they get phased out by younger field owners and like people that are doing things like I feel like Pando with Level is doing a good job over there from what I've seen and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Paintball needs that fresh shakeup. It can't be, the old guy, that had some farmland and bought 20 guns and anything like that. I roll up to some fields and I'm like, I would if I wasn't a player that already been playing, if I saw this, I would never drop my kid off here.
Right.
I would never drop. Like, this looks like a shanty town.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing is, man, and I keep telling people this is, we're on the first generation. We are on the first generation of paintball. It's crazy to think about because we've been around for like 30-something years. But because it boomed so well when it did, most of the people that own fields today, we do have some exceptions, most of the fields that own today started pre-2007, right? Or 2006 when it was big, and made great money just using the name paintball and having the facility. But unfortunately, and it's truly unfortunate for our industry, is that they're not business owners. I love them to death. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to be very open. Every single person that's ever opened a paintball field, I have so much respect and pride and empathy towards you on the simple fact that we both love paintball, right? But I'm going to be straightforward with you. There is very few and far between field owners that are real business owners, right? A lot of problems. The reason they're worried about their $15 because of competitive players is because they're going paycheck to paycheck. They're literally going like they need every paint box sale to keep going forward, which isn't right. It's not how you run business, man. I mean, I'm 26. I'm not like an entrepreneur master, but I literally listen to podcasts and do business all day long, every day. It's all I care about. And the more I learn, the more I understand. One, paintball has some of the biggest potential out there. Not only is it awesome, okay, it's emotionally addictive, which is incredible for anything that you want to sell, right? The reason you keep selling chocolate is people are addicted to the damn sugar, right? So we're emotionally addictive. It's something that once you really like it, you're going to spend a bunch of money on it. And on that, the ones that are addicted to it emotionally, the amount of funds you get from that player are immense. It's not like a McDonald's cheeseburger where you're going to get $1 profit from a sale. You're going to get anywhere from, even if we're buying at $35 a case, where are they getting a $13 profit? Even if they take off their overhead and some of the other expenses, you're still going to walk away with $7 cash. You're 7 times a McDonald's transaction right there. You're having as many transactions as McDonald's. You can fix that, right? That's my mindset. You can do that many transactions. And then if you look at the rec ball players, these players are still paying. You know, if I go to a field and they don't know me, I have no bias, and they're telling me, hey, it's $80 to play. Okay, it's $80. I know that you just made $35 profit on me. You know what I mean? Yeah, there is so much profit there. If I just took if I took the words paintball and paintballs and markers and all that stuff out of a business plan for what paintball is and represent it to a business entity like a bank, like what GI did in 2014, they're going to go, wow, you can make a lot of money here, and I'm going to fund you, just like what happened to GI in 2014, right? There's a reason that a banking entity like that would step in, because the money's there. Like the potential for growth is there. I just think, you know, John, I think you're totally right. I think it's the next generation is what's needed to push it to the next level, because the first generation that we're at created an amazing platform. What exists today is insane. I literally hold a fully electronic machine gun in my hand and running 5 into corners with air. Like, it's insane what we do, right? But it needs to take the next step of, this isn't insane anymore. This is what we love, and this is a normal entity. Let's make it better, bigger, and push it out to the world.
No, man, you're so right. I love everything you're saying. And just like, it's funny, as you guys are talking about that, I looked over and like at my little bench over here, I was like, not only we're talking about paint, but like I got 5 guns chilling over here. Like we're not just pants, jersey, pads, squeegees.
Dude, when I was 18 years old, I crunched the numbers of all the traveling expenses, all the gear I've bought, all the paint I've bought, all the practice, and then time away from work and the funds that would have took away if I was working. And it was like at 18 years old, at that time I was playing for like 6 years, I was already at $125,000.
Yeah, tell my girlfriend not to listen to this episode. Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
But no, it's expensive, dude, to play. Hell yeah.
It is expensive, but I was an extremist. I was going to events a year. I was buying 2 guns. I was practicing twice a week. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I appreciate the fact that it is expensive. And a lot of people talk down about it. It brought my life to an upper echelon. I couldn't work at McDonald's. I couldn't get a small side time job. I needed to find more for my paintball addiction. I needed to find 2 jobs. I needed to work hard. The man I am today at 26 years old, I dedicate 110% to paintball. And my cousin RJ, who's recently passed away in upstate New York, he actually got me into paintball. And that was the one thing I could say at his funeral, was like, he literally paved the way for everything that I appreciate about myself, and everything that I've done in myself came from the success and the gratitude and the efforts I had to go through in paintball to become the person I am today. So the expense itself is just a learning lesson that adds to the benefit of paintball, because you got to go out there and make a little more money.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're so right. Like it kind of weeds out like the softies. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Like you got to
Yes.
go out there and work, and you know what, baby, you got to pick up that extra shift. So you can get that extra.
And like it's funny, I never really we're paintball players, we party, right? You know what I mean? But like,
We like to have a good time.
we like to have a good time. We always like to have a good time. But like Friday night's coming up, I'm back and forth for the first time. Everyone's like, "Oh, you want to go out?" And I'm like, "No." Oh, I got World Cup layout, baby. I got things to do. I got priorities. You know what I mean? Like it definitely has the life lessons it's taught me is profound, and it really am happy about where it stands. And this year, coming into World Cup, coming out of the invitational, like, everyone saw the video with what happened Aftermath and SDA, like that.
The push scene around the world, everyone's seen it.
Yeah, push scene around the world. That's hilarious. That's that was just unfortunate, right? I personally believe Go Sports really shouldn't have published that. They should have gone back and try to edit the stream and just get rid of it, right? It's a bad look.
Should have been a delay, like live sports have a little bit of a delay.
Yes,
like there should have been a delay. And honestly, that was the first time I've ever seen a camera in the pits,
right?
Like, so that was also because, like, to me, like thinking about normal sports, like people are like, "Oh, trash talk is a part of the game and everything like that." If you mic up a linebacker, he's gonna be saying stuff, but they don't have they don't have a camera on the linebacker as he's saying that shit. Like, "Yo, I'm gonna hurt your mom," or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that camera. And the other issue about it too, it was bound to happen because they were looking at Iannucci the whole time, and you could just see like he was boiling. Like I knew something was gonna happen eventually. So I mean. Like, yeah, it's cool because, like, you could see how, like, the teams interact or whatever, but, like, also, like,
no,
the way that people is, I don't want it in my pit. I don't want a camera in my pit. I don't even want a camera guy on the sideline when I play.
The whole thing. Go Sports has to look at what their mission is, right? What is their business mission, okay? Their mission is to promote paintball in the most professional way possible. That's their job. They are the video creation of the production of what paintball is. So when we look at paintball representation, we have to look at Go Sports, and they decide what they publish. Let's be very clear. You know what I mean? They decide what they publish. Why would you publish that? Why would you? You know what I mean? That the delay thing I've been talking about for like 3 or 4 years. I'm like, if you just delay it 10 seconds,
right?
10 seconds is a long time in production.
Yeah,
right?
It gives you a lot of time to cut
the
feed.
A lot of time to make sure you don't show that stuff. When it comes to what John did, anybody that has anything negative to say about John is an idiot in my eyes, because John Iannucci is the only reason that you have 1 out of 20 professional teams. The amount of effort, money, just think about effort, just think about time dedicated to make Aftermath a team. And they're not even doing good, right? No, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but as a person, that person doesn't even plan the team, and he gives all his time and money to make sure there's a professional pro team. There's kids that can look up to those players and go and try to play for that professional team, and you're going to try to astronize this guy so like he gets pushed out, say stuff that makes him want to leave paintball. I don't know if that's really his mindset. Who knows? But at the end of the day, yeah, he got pissed off. Did he come back and apologize to the guy? Yeah, he did. Right? At the end of the day, it was funny because Tony was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time, right? He literally said, John, you guys got screwed there. You're right. John just didn't hear him and boom, sent him. But but it's things like that in sports. If that didn't happen, we wouldn't be competing, right? Yeah. If there wasn't that level of energy, we wouldn't really be trying that hard. Right? There's when people really want to win that bad, there's going to be emotions.
Right? Think about people that have sacrificed so much just even be in that position, dude.
Right? And you're not talking about one time. Everybody in professional paintball has been in this industry for, I have to say, a minimum 6 years. There's no way someone in There was some players that made it through the ranks quick, individuals like Brandon Short, Zach Wake.
I was going to say Short.
Yeah, exactly. They came through quick, but then they stayed for a long time. You know what I mean? Like the pro circuit right now, level is the youngest level, and energy are the youngest ones. But both of those teams have been in semi-pro for like 3+ years. They've been in the circuit. They've been playing paintball, right? So we've all dedicated so much that, sometimes the emotions do break. I personally work every day on emotional intelligence to make sure I have strength to not break like that. Because I'm a Kyle. I used to punch through walls as a kid, right? I used to be so angry. But the sport itself, we all know. There's something about this that gets you going, and it's a good thing. Like I love the fact that people are amped up about it. Just go sports. Don't promote it nationally for people to talk shit. It's easy solution in my eyes.
Yeah, dude, especially for our sport, like I said, we're trying to get on the next level. Because I don't want to hear the thing that doesn't happen in major sports. Like, I just watched a football game where the dude punched the guy in the head. Granted, not the smartest decision. The dude's wearing a fucking helmet, but...
Dude didn't even flinch.
Dude, right?
Didn't even flinch.
Well, dude's wearing a helmet. Like, I don't know what the guy who's throwing the punch was thinking. Like, but it happens in all sports, man.
Oh, in every sport, man. This is not an office job. Their level of emotion here is rampant. I mean, it really is awesome. I love it, man. The older I get, the more I want to feel alive, right? That's literally my mindset. And paintball, man, it's going like, I think 16 years strong now, where it just never disappoints, bro. If I could find it, my girlfriend's pretty damn good. I love her. My fiance, I love her to death. But if she disappointed me just as much as paintball, I'd be a happy man, because paintball is always there, bro. Paintball is always even keel. It makes me happy, and it's even with all the craziness we have to deal with. It's been an awesome sport, man, and it's like that around the world, like Denmark, Bulgaria. I was in Italy for a little bit and get a chance to play there, but I think I'm going to be going back after Cup, so I'll get a chance to see what that's like. But no matter where I play, it's the same mentality. We played that Danish league. There was like 12 Danish teams there, like Copenhagen Ducks, Ugly Ducklings, some well-known European teams, and people just loving it, dude. And the same thing, loving it, freaking out. Tell them to go F himself, like you're out, you cheated, blah, 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 and then loving it again. You know what I mean? Like, it really is a level of emotion that I love. I love, and I wish that if we could show that emotion. People talk about the story of paintball and like really selling people's stories in the game. Mm-hmm. I think if we sell the story of paintball, not an individual person quite yet, but really hone in on that story of paintball, how far it's come, the evolution that we've done, the people that have evolved out of this game. I think that would be the first step to really get national recognition, because I love the story of paintball, man. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, dude, no, I agree. Like, you see, like, just like back how it was, like to see that, like, yeah, dude, this sport used to be played with 10-round tubes in woods that were 100 feet long. As Kevin Johnson loves to say, I played for 6 hours before I saw anybody. Yeah. Now you're on the start box and you can count how many dudes there are and see them where they're all going from the time the game starts to it ends. It's come a long way.
It's come an insanely long way, man. And it really has. Out of every other sport, it's evolved more than anything. I just don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the future is going to hold, but I just hope that everyone's on the same page with me, is that it's on the cusp of being something great. So that way, hopefully everyone talks positive about it instead of, the shit talking. It's been a pretty positive year, man. It's been a pretty positive year until the whole push felt around the world. But
yeah,
besides that, it's been super positive.
It'll blow over. It's just big. The meme pages are making it seem so huge right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, the meme pages are hilarious. They rip Harris apart. I love it.
Oh, my God. Were you there, too, when they sent them to McDonald's? Or did you just watch the video?
Oh, I watched the video. I kind of saw it from a distance, and I just figured he was McDonald's.
Like, this nothing strange here?
Dude, he is a freak of nature. Harris Hussein is an amazing paintball player. I don't want to blow up his head, but I definitely cannot disrespect him. He's an amazing paintball player, but he is not a normal human being. That man works like an animal, eats like a king, and literally all he does for working out is boxing training. He's got hands of lightning and just kills it, dude. He's great, practicing up there with those guys for the 2 weekends prior. Up in New York, I was with most of the NYX guys, And yeah, he's definitely him and Pat Kraft hold the crown for that team. Those two are two incredible players. And I don't know. Pat looks good. I don't know how Harris does it. I got no idea.
Yeah, I mean, he says it himself, dude. I'm coming off the couch here and him smacking you guys or whatever he
Yeah.
was talking about for the first game.
Dude, ridiculous. He's so funny. He makes it though. You know what I mean? That smack talking is a big topic, right? Everyone really brings that up about, is it for the sport? Is it against the sport? People just don't know how well ingrained they are in paintball. Honestly, they have to understand that like you're only hearing that and seeing that stuff because when we go to national events, every pro team is there and they're all playing. You wouldn't hear that from a grandstands of a stadium for the linebackers, like you brought up before. It's there. You just don't hear it. You know what I mean? And NFL don't promote it, right? That's a big thing too.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I love it because I think when you mix a little bit of saltiness, it just makes the game like that much better. Whether you love or hate it, it's almost like a political thing. You're just dividing along. Some people are going to go, you shouldn't smack talk. You should respect the game, blah, 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 blah. And the other half are going to be like, no, dump the loader. Let it go.
Dude, the loader dump is awesome. I just love how little kids are doing it now. We used to do that. Well, I still do that. But there's a purpose for it. You're dumping your loader to get rid of all the old paint to put fresh
paint.
Yeah,
right.
Pat Kraft just got caught on video. Me and Pat we play together on New York Extreme, and we were dumping the hoppers for fresh paint every single time, but we weren't like pouring on people's heads. We were just kind of dumping to the ground, and he just caught a few times dumping his hopper, and it became a thing, man. And more power to him. He got a little icon thing going on. He should start making some shirts, because kids are loving it.
D5 kids across the land, they're doing it everywhere, dude.
I saw that level kid doing it, that kid Colton or whatever, that kid Colton Doll that's been kind of like, they've been hyping him up all around. And it was at the USA tryouts, and there was like a 6'2" dude, and this kid's 4'11", and he was like super reaching it to dump it on the kid's face.
I saw that picture. That was hilarious to see. But I mean, that's the whole thing, competitor smack talk, right? We're just gonna do it, right? It's like a nature. Like we're even competitive in word. Like that's basically what it comes down to. Like, it's just gonna. I'd love to see a little kid doing that too, though, because it just means he's got some balls on him, right? He's going after that kid's gonna make it somewhere. I'm telling you.
No, those little kids would like at least. Hey, that means they're watching too. That's what I love. I want to see like little 9-year-olds doing it because that means they're out there, they're watching this, and they're hopefully going to keep playing for the next 30 years.
It's a very good point, man. Footage is a huge factor. Huge factor. I really think as a sport, we do a damn good job at it. We just don't promote it very well. We create the content. We do a very good job at that. It's just the promoting of it is a bit lackluster.
No, for sure. Because like, I know I didn't check the views, but they gave the first matches for free on Facebook. And like, honestly, dude, that could be huge. Like that should have millions of views. Like Facebook should be a huge generator for them.
Facebook should definitely generate it. They should be on YouTube. There's no reason they should limit themselves to a single channel. You know what I mean? They should really be just pushing it. They should be on There's TikTok videos of paintball right now that have like over 5 million views.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah, there's some TikTok pages that have paintball that kill it. I mean, people love this stuff, man. They absolutely.
I mean, Mark from HK Army. I'm sure if you just go pull up his right now, I'm not on TikTok, so I can't. But I'm sure his has millions of views.
Oh, he kills it. Yeah, he does a great job. There's actual pages that are just like game footage, though. It's just clips of game footage, and it gets recognition, man. No one knows what the hell it is, but people like it, right?
Right.
You guys going to Cup?
Nah, probably not.
I might make the decision. I was thinking about this the other day, honestly, because there's some other stuff I want to talk to and things I want to get done. So I was actually thinking about that as well.
How do you guys feel about it? You guys, everyone was kind of sketchy about the whole COVID thing and it's going to happen. But I can tell you right now, I just got to Florida and I haven't seen a mask since I've been here.
I have no. Listen, man. I have no. I'll get on a plane and dude. My thing is, dude, if I go to a gas station and this thing costs me $5, I walk in. Grab my Red Bull out of the thing. If it's $4.99, if I put a $5 bill, hey, no man, you put the $5 bill on the register, you walk out. Like, they ain't saying no to my money. You know what I mean, man? And whatever people want to do in their world or whatever. But dude, I have no issues with it, man. I have no issues, dude.
Yeah, I really just hope that if I don't care who wins the election. I'm going to be honest with you. But if Biden wins, he says he's got 3 months of masks for us, and I'm telling you, if he cancels World Cup, I'm showing up at his front door, bro.
Do not fuck with my World Cup. Do
Yeah,
not.
Don't F with my paintball, dude, and I'll be fine. You know what I mean?
All I'm saying, man. As long as they don't mess with me, they can do whatever they want in the political systems. As long as I still got my paintball, I still got my business, I still got a smile on my face, I'll be happy, man. I'll be happy. Yeah, I think World Cup's going to be awesome, though. I'm pumped up for it. We practiced Russians and Ironman and CEP this weekend at CFP, so it's going to be a good weekend. It's going to hurt. Russians are rough, man. If you ever watch them at practice, they are brutal. They beat NYX, like literally they played NYX, I think like 50 or 60 points within 2 days, and NYX won 3.
Jeez. Yeah, so they'll just beat you into the ground. They don't give a fuck.
Oh, they don't care. They don't care. And they play bounces, so they'll play through bounces, and they'll just go back to the reffing crew and be like, hey, we took a bounce right here, so just so you know, just lets you know this is what happened, blah blah blah. But they destroyed you in your point. Like NYX guys were like, half my team was ready to quit. Like they're just done with paintball. They didn't know what to do with themselves.
Oh god, that's too funny. But dude, you watch them drill and stuff, and all the videos they posted them drilling. I mean, they're about it, man.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, even 100% perfect snapshot cannot be as good as switching a guy. So what I mean by that is, like, even if you have the perfect snap and your ball is on point every time, is if all I'm doing is shooting your way, and as soon as that perfect ball comes in, I call and say, hey, this guy's going to go, and my guy from across the field switches and shoots the gap. It doesn't really matter, right? Like you have to be able to shoot the snap and dive across before my guy picks up the zone. If you do that with athleticism, speed, plus a good snapshot, you're going to get through the gaps, but you're not going to get through every gap, right? There's such a balance. This game is such a game of yin and yang, right? You can be super fast and athletic and have perfect gun skills and be the perfect specimen, and you would be amazing, but you'd also be incredible with none of those things and the imperfect mind for paintball, and be able to play the game as a chess match and quarterback your players and understand zones and gappings and easy positions and moves and pinching players out. I'm excited for the practice because honestly, I want to test if I can keep up with them. We played them in Vegas and it was fast. It was like 6-1. I think they beat us. They were doing shit that no other team was, diving into the 50 and then baiting like the whole point, just waiting for me on the D side. And I take 2 steps and I just get clopped up by Britnikoff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how they play this field. I think we'll get a good taste for it. I'm actually, I don't know when you guys will be releasing this episode, but this weekend when I'll be trying to get the GoPro out there, take some footage. Probably the Russians will threaten to kill my family if I videotape them, but I'm going to try to sneak some footage. But yeah, it should be good. It should be good. I'm excited to practice those two. I'm excited to watch Damage play. I think this will be a very strong layout for Damage. Very strong layout for Damage. I think they'll do really good. And they must be playing somebody down here. I don't know who they're practicing, but I'll be posted all over my social media this weekend.
I thought they were playing your boys, the Killers.
They were last weekend. Yeah, so they were the Killers. Listen, the Killers will not miss a weekend. I wish everybody that had been playing paintball as long as they have had the same mentality they did. Because there's players on there that have been on the field and playing competitive for 20 years, and they don't miss. They love it. They just love paintball, man. The whole team loves paintball, and they'll come out there no matter what. So they're always out there, and they have a chance to play them. Mutiny was out there last weekend, which is a surprise because they're not, from the area, but they must have came down to see Damage and practice them. But I don't know who they'll play this weekend. The Jits, I believe, are playing. I won't know. I won't know until this weekend when I really reconnect with them.
The Jits are signed up. I did see that.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, it's great to hear. So with playing Killers, they'll probably practice them and maybe fly in one protein.
So with that being said, kind of, speaking, I know you just, you kind of brought up some divisional teams and things of that nature. And I know in the past had a big, you were part of a big divisional program. I know last time we spoke, I know you were a big help with me, trying to do, I had a kids camp. The first one went off pretty well. The second one, I kind of did. The one young kid that wanted it, he asked everybody, he's like, yeah, who wants to do it again? And everyone's like, yeah, let's do it again. He's like, how about in 3 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever? And like, it wasn't enough time for me to restart up or anything like that. We did a smaller 3-day camp. But is there anything on the horizons? I know you're out and about and you're traveling around traveling a little bit. I know you don't got like a home office, so to speak, or home
base, living out of a backpack, 110%. Dude. Yeah, no, I definitely do. I mean, it is my biggest desire in this world is to grow the paintball, right? So I'm always working on different things. I'll be talking to Anthony Vitale from BKI and Boston Paintball here in the next 2 weeks. We've been doing advertising for him through Facebook, and we're going to start doing some camps up in the Boston area. I'm really looking forward to that. We might hold off on the winter. We're going to see how that goes and kind of find a good timing for that. We're going to get camps going there. I'm in talk with the Danish league over there, the one I worked with in Denmark, about structuring a few camps and seeing how we can start bringing players into his local field. And also outside of that, I just brought in Gator Paintball, like I said, as a client and marketing, but I'm separating a part of my marketing agency specifically for paintball fields. And I'm going to try to put together low-cost packages for every single paintball field out there to do Facebook, Instagram-based advertising, and really just focus on helping the fields and driving that traffic in. World Cup, I'm going to use as like my platform to announce that, right? This too, I guess. So if you guys know any paintball field owners, or if anybody listening to this knows any paintball field owners, please have them reach out to me. Even if they don't have the capital to set it up, I'll set up the whole program for them for free. If they want me to run it for them, then it's gonna be like a management fee and I'll take care of it and do everything. If not, I'll show them how to do it hands-on and teach them the process so that they can at least do it themselves and make some money from it. It is profitable. It is bringing an immense amount of birthday parties through the front door, and the birthday parties is the greatest segue into competitive players. And that's really my goal. My focus right now is just how many players can I get through the front door of paintball? And then once that's there, how can I help these fields leverage competitive paintball to get them to come back more and more and more? Because at the end of the day, we're bottom of the funnel customers, man. We're so low on the total poll of their importance that even if their field died, we'd find another one to go to. Right? What you have to learn is those top of funnel customers, those ones that are just coming into the business, how do you work with them through the system to get them to where we are? Right. And that's so to answer your question, camps, right after World Cup, I'm really, really looking forward to set up some clinics. I want to travel a little bit, set up some clinics if it's possible. I don't know if I'm allowed to release this on here. When do you guys plan on releasing this?
Tomorrow. We're gonna do it tomorrow, dude. So
all right. Well,
we'll have to have you back. We'll put it in the show notes once it's available.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll give a little tidbit, but all the Florida players, make sure you're on your game because there might be a tryout coming in Florida after World Cup. You know what I mean? So, I'll keep you posted. I don't know, nothing confirmed yet, but
nice. The Florida players buy that extra case, man. They'll put in some extra work.
Put in the work, man. Put in the work. Go play World Cup, even if it's 10-man, whatever it might be. Go play the event. And that goes for everyone listening, not just Florida players. If you have the opportunity and you're comfortable with the situation of life right now, please come down and play World Cup. Support the sport, grow the sport, do everything you can to just give back to it. And if you're not there, the next best thing you can do is whenever there is content released by either the NXL or your favorite team, whatever it might be, share it. Just push it out there to the world. Let people know that paintball's happening right now. Let people know in this time where everyone's not really comfortable in their own skin, that there is still a chance to have fun and, enjoy life and go out there and just put a smile on your face, So that's the only thing I hope for is that during this World Cup time, everyone's playing. If not playing, supporting.
Oh, yeah. For sure. You're kind of making me want to play 10-man a little bit. That's what I was thinking about going down for.
Dude, come on.
I got to see if I can swing it with work. I'm playing a bunch of tournaments this month already. I got to see if I can swing it.
Where were you guys? I played a tournament at Albany Paintball when I was up in New York. Where were you guys?
Dude,
I didn't even know it was going off.
I was going to actually ask you that because I thought I saw it. So would you play with the Ninja Squad or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I didn't. So I know I think there was 2 around this time, but like I didn't even hear. We're playing in Massachusetts for
This weekend,
P&L or whatever. So we already knew about that. But when I saw that, I was like, yo, what were they trying to be like under the radar about it? Like not let us.
Yeah, I think they were trying to keep it small just because they didn't want any COVID, problems. Right. New York still, you guys they're pretty strict up there. I honestly had no freaking idea. I just couldn't go to practice with Harrison Arzing because they wouldn't let me show up without a COVID test. So I got the COVID test on Friday. I was waiting for my results Saturday morning, and I couldn't go to practice with them. So they're like, hey, you want to play this tournament? And we played the whole thing. I messed up my knee in the process, but we won it. So whatever. Yeah. It was fun. And then the COVID test results came in Saturday, and I could go out and practice with Harrison Arzing and then on Sunday. New York is strict, man, but it's from all the traveling I've done, it's about as bad as Italy. And Italy's like locked down. It's lockdown. But New York is just as bad. Florida down here, I'm excited for anybody who listens to this and then comes down to World Cup. Do not expect to see COVID down here. It doesn't exist. It's crazy.
He ain't down here, so don't be looking for him.
Yeah, don't be looking. Don't even bring it up.
Man, yeah. So I mean, we covered everything I wanted to talk about. I mean, Waldo, you got anything else you want to ask him?
I mean, I appreciate him coming on as always. And if you got some other stuff that you want to plug and stuff like that, we'll definitely have to, reconnect on, what you're doing afterwards or through the offseason. It seems like you're always shaking around, moving and stuff like that. So definitely, shout out your sponsors, shout out anybody you want to talk about, anybody you want to shout out.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the sponsors this year has been great. Ruthless. I got to give the first shout out to them because
your jerseys looked nice.
Dude, they look really clean, and he's even during this time, he's still supporting us. There's no fault in them. He's still sending us jerseys. He's got face masks for us. And right now, if you guys want really dope templated jerseys, he's got a bunch of them. You just upload it to the website. So Ruthless is doing great. John there is an awesome guy. The MacDev guns were shooting great. At the Pro Invitational, we were shooting a bunch of different types of paint, and the guns are still rocking and rolling. And I'm pretty sure half my team hasn't shot them since Vegas. So they were still killing it. And then, I've been running around using that that Powerhouse Air Reg. And I've taken that thing off my bottle 100 times, flew to Denmark and back, and it's still clean as a whistle. How sometimes you can knock out those ninja tanks and other tanks and stuff's coming out of them. Yeah, exactly. These regs, awesome. I don't even know the owner, the guy that makes it, but you're doing a damn good job. The Powerhouse, I gotta give grass to them. And then Pro Shar's doing us good. And then finally Bunker King, man. Bunker King, it's been a crazy year for them. It's been a crazy year for everybody, and they still got our support, still have our back. I'm pumped for World Cup. I know that they just released a few new products in the gear bags. They got the joggers out, which are money. And they're, the release of the Spire 4. I haven't got to use one yet, but it looks sick with that new, that ice. I can't shout out to ice, but whatever. Ace, right?
Ace, Ace.
Yeah. It's not a MacDev. Don't worry about
it. Don't worry about it.
But outside of that, man, I want to give a shout out to everyone that is supporting paintball right now. Right. So the one thing I talked about in the first time I went on the show with you was, I was so sick of the negative. People were talking a lot of negative stuff about paintball, and they just in general, they always want to talk shit. But during this quarantine, I hope everyone realized, and I think I felt it, through the social platforms, that we all do love the sport. It really is amazing. And we do take it for granted more than not, because we might talk down about it or, ask for a bigger discount. But I'm happy to see the love for the sport. I'm happy to see the appreciation for the sport, sharing the sport. during this time, if we could do anything while everyone's locked down in COVID and paintball is the one thing that's open, get your friends and family out to a paintball field, talk to everyone that you know and get them to come out to the field. Trust me, at this time, they'll do it because there's nothing else open.
There's nothing. They're not going in the bowling alley. They're not going. And
nothing.
You can only fit so many. You only allow 25% of the people at the bar. So, you know what I mean? Like, come play paintball for the day or whatever. Get out of the house, especially. I mean, I think that's why paintball was so. I saw people hit me up that haven't played in years, and they were stuck in their house, and they were like, hit me up. They're like, "Yo, dude, you still play paintball, right? Like,
Yeah.
we go somewhere?" I'm like,
what woods are you playing?
Not yet, but on the low, maybe next week. You know what I mean? Whatever. Shout out to the couple spots that we were able to do something for a little bit. But you know what I mean? It's like, dude, we can't stay inside, man. We'll go nuts. We'll go crazy, man. Like humans by nature are travelers, gatherers, hunters. Like back in the day, they didn't stay in one place. They didn't stay in one cave.
100% agree. I the whole locking everyone in the house thing. Like, I understand health. Trust me, I eat good. I eat clean. I take care of my body every single day. I understand health. I understand viruses. I've done a good amount of study, but locked in a box is not how we're supposed to be. And again, like, this is the time while for some reason we were granted the opportunity as paintball fields to be open outside of these other things. We really as a community, have to leverage that. We have to get people through the front door. And if you don't think it's a big deal, or if you don't really you don't think you're going to get any gratitude from it, but you're still practicing, call your local field. Say, hey, John, whoever might be the owner, you know me, I'm there every weekend. I want to bring you people. If I bring you 5 guys, can I get a case of paint? I bet he's going to agree with you. I bet he'll say yes.
Right.
If you really want something for your efforts, go talk to your local field and say, hey, I actually want to help. I want to do something to boost the field. As long as they're putting effort back into paintball, it's going to grow. And then, final shout out. I want to make sure I shout out Charlie Givens and, the ML Kings guys. Charlie not only gave me a huge level of respect for being a player coach this last weekend. I didn't think he would, he would put that on my shoulders, but he did. And I was really happy that he respected me enough to do that. He also gives the Kings the opportunity to practice in a great Florida pro team and pro organization for young Florida players to inspire up to. I really want to say thank you to him. And then, thank you for Tom Cole and Go Sports and the NXL for actually making World Cup happen. A lot of people didn't think it was going to happen. A lot of people were just throwing to the hay side, but it's what paintball needs to survive. It's what the community needs overall. Let's just make sure that we don't do anything stupid as players at the event,
right?
To blow it up on the national scene, right? But yeah, the whole organization in general, we're doing a great job right now, growing the sport and promoting paintball. So everyone, including you guys, thank you for keep on creating content and keeping, using this time of COVID to create a platform that speaks to more and more people about paintball. Man, I love it. I appreciate you guys and everyone else that's, working to grow the sport.
Dude, Kyle, well, we can't thank you enough for coming on. Again, I love getting these chats with you. We're definitely going to have you back. And again, I want to thank all of our listeners, everyone who takes the time out of their day to listen to us. We really appreciate every single one of you. And we'll catch all of you on the next episode. Enjoy the weekend, guys.